What's up everyone, it's Dark Viper and I am here to show you the latest prices for Skyblox, specifically from the fruit tree update and food processor update. I did give it a little bit of time to make sure prices could settle because when they were that new, everything's obviously in high demand because everyone wants to get a hold of the new items inside the update. So I wanted to make sure I gave it some time for prices to settle before I went ahead and did this price guide. So you're going to notice this looks a little different from the last price guide. I was thinking about actually destroying this afterwards, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to seal this area up whenever I'm done. And then I'm just going to do updates this way. It just saves me a lot of time so I can just kind of adjust prices. So we're going to come over here to the Buffalo Core Crystal. It has gone up a ton in value. So if you remember last time, I think I had it around like 300,000 or 350,000. It is now averaging about 500,000. So I think it has a lot to do with new players coming into the game. So they're having to create a lot more items and they're having to use a lot more crystals. Oddly enough, it is auto AFK. So you can actually auto AFK Buffalo Core Crystal all day long. Pearls, on the other hand, have dropped significantly. You've probably seen them going around for like 15,000 now. I can't even sell them at 15,000. Let me tell you, if I were to let all these crazies in here right now with me, they would not be able to, they wouldn't buy my pearls because there's just too many and they just kind of give them to me. You just see them dropping around the map these days. So these are really, really hard to sell. You may see these drop to 10,000 soon. I think they're still worth the 15K. I mean, it's not much to get one and they are rare items, but you know, I'm just letting you know, they're not worth what you think they are. They're still not, if you're pricing them at 50K, still you're not going to sell them. You're just going to have a vending machine taken up. Propellers, on the other hand, have dropped a little bit, but they've kind of leveled out. I think they're going to hang around the 850K range. I do see them often going for 750K as well, but I think this is a safe zone. If people are buying, then why drop the price? They're still going to buy at 100,000 more. So just leave it there. You can also try to sell them for $1 million, but again, that's kind of on the highs. I don't really see these going for $1 million anymore. Green sticky gears, 2,000 all day, still stable. So you're still going to see them for 2,000. That's no problem. Blue sticky gear, you're going to see still hanging around 30K to 40K. I like to sell them for 40K and I sell them all day long. I sell out of these. In fact, people just come by and they're like sold. Pink sticky gear, on the other hand, are continuing to go up because smelters are going up. Pink sticky gear is going up with it. So 130K is actually pretty decent. I'm usually willing to spend about 150K. It just doesn't make a big difference if you're trying to kind of break through the noise of other people trying to compete, because again, supply is very low on this item and demand is very high. So when you have that scenario, you're going to have to end up paying more to compete with other people that are buying that supply up. So if you were to go over to the Discord, you're going to have a little bit of a struggle trying to find these because, again, pink slime. Remember, pink slime have to spawn for you to be able to get these. And on top of that, if you do kill the pink slime, you have to hope that you're going to get the drop. So you're going to be spending some time to try to grind for this. This is one of the few items in the game that are very, very hard to grind for besides the propeller. The difference between the propeller and this is that the propeller, you can just fish all day long and you might get the drop from any of the fish, whereas the pink sticky gear, you can only get it from pink slime. And if I were to go to the island right now, I guarantee I would not find a pink slime yet. I would have to spawn it. And the way you spawn it is you have to kill a bunch of other slime to be able to get it to spawn. So crystallized iron, 80,000, pretty much standard. You're going to see that this is it's been pretty stable for us. Since the last price guide, I think it's still around that same price. Crystallized gold, after it came out, so if you remember when it first came out, it was going for about 5 million a pop, sometimes even 15 million because the crazies are out. But 5 million, you're still going to see some people trying to sell them for 5 million because they either bought it for 5 million or they think it's still worth it and they're not keeping up with the time. So when you look at this, the demand is still there, but the gold itself is very easy to AFK. So I can get 2 of these every 30 minutes. That's not that bad. And on top of that, you can auto it. I could probably get about 10 to 12 of these overnight if I wanted to. So I don't think it's as rare as a lot of people think because again, you can auto it. You're looking at the rarity. I would say buff crystal is worth more, but if you look at it, buff crystal is priced less, which is kind of odd. You are looking at about anywhere between 750,000 to $1 million. You might see some people selling it for 500,000. I think this is going to probably flatline around 500 to 600,000 pretty soon. But for now, it's good because it's in high demand. Go ahead and sell it for 750. If you could sell it for 850, if you could sell it for even higher, do it. Obviously, I'm not telling you to go and like cut your prices just because of this price is lower than what you're selling it for. If people are buying your price, you should always sell it at whatever price people are buying it. Regardless of what I say, regardless of what anyone else says, if you're selling something at a higher price than what I think it's worth, that's the price. That's what the market's willing to spend. So when we go over to berries, if you're selling it for 15,000 a seed, then there's nothing wrong with that. Great, congrats. stats. You're selling it and people are buying it, so they think it's worth that if they're buying it, right? That's how the market works. Remember that. If you were to trade stocks or anything else and people are willing to spend something, guess what? The entire market goes up with it. So again, you gotta just understand how markets work. And just because you think something's overpriced in here, I can tell you every single thing in here that is priced this way, people are buying at those prices. So you could probably even go up higher on all of these prices that I'm showing. So just because something's priced a certain way, you gotta remember, you gotta understand how markets work. So going over here to Buffalo Core Key, I don't think it's worth more than 1,000 because it's just so easy to get them. I usually get a key after killing about 5 slimes. So more than 1,000, you're kind of pushing it. Now again, you know, I do see some people spending 4K for one of these just because it's convenient. So convenience does sell. So you have to include convenience in a lot of these things, including these items I'm about to hit. So coal block, iron block, and steel rod. It doesn't cost this much to actually get the materials and make it yourself. The problem is you're building in the price and the inconvenience of having to make these. No one really likes making these things. These 3 right here, no one really likes making them. Same for gold. And no, a lot of people don't like to smelt gold ore because it's just a pain in the butt and you can't auto it, so you have to manually drop it and smelt it. Whereas coal and iron, you can use totems to auto. So that's why, you know, you're going to see 1,000 bump, you know, from here, and then you're going to see some gaps for convenience in here. A lot of people are making conveyor belts right now still, so steel rods are really, really hot right now. You might see this go up to 3,000 for some people just because they don't want to have to make the conveyors, and then you're going to see conveyors are going up to about 5,000 a piece. So over here on the gold section, 2,000, this is pretty stable from the last update. You might see this fluctuate up and down depending on the seller. Same for gold blocks. I'm able to sell these for 40,000. So, you know, if you want, you can try to bump this up to 40K. It's not really worth 40K, but again, you got the convenience factor. You know, it is 10 of these, so, you know, maybe it is worth more. So it's up to you what you want to price this at. I see people selling them for 30 to 40,000. My price, 30,000, because you can get gold for cheaper in bulk. Gilded steel rod, 40,000, easy, all day long. Berry seeds, I have it at 9,000 because people are buying them at 10K plus. I actually don't like to see the giant jumps inside seeds. So the challenge with seeds is it's in high demand and there's low supply still. So every single time I get, I don't know how, I think I've gotten about, I would say 500 messages asking for me to sell my seeds. I don't have any right now because I sold out, but I get about, no joke, I've gotten in the last week at least 500 messages from people, not even including YouTube comments. I think if I were to total those, we're probably looking into this, you know, we start getting into the thousands of messages of people wanting to buy these. So incredible demand. You can't really find a lot in bulk. When you do, they're pretty much sold very quickly, or you have to do it on Discord. And remember, you know, Discord's probably hitting only about 5% of the user base. So you know, for those of you that live and breathe on the Discord trading channel, you have to remember you're only the 5% or so audience. We've got millions of players in this game, and they're all like either underage to not even be able to get on Discord, or they're selling through vendors or buying through vendors, or they're just in public servers asking if they could buy seeds from anyone. So this is that audience, right? So you need to remember, even though you could probably get, you know, 20,000 seeds, even though good luck getting those, because now you got to use alts because we're capped at 10,000 seeds now. So if you try to have more than 10,000 seeds in your inventory, it's going to get capped at 10,000. So it's going to get cut. So that makes things even more difficult to buy in bulk. So I think because of that, the prices are going to jump up. I think by next pricing guide update, we're going to probably see this at 10,000 unless Dev nerfs these. And I think it's possible they're going to continue to nerf the berry seeds because they're the most overpowered way to make money in the game right now. Fertilizer is really, really, really hard to find. I have basically put out posts saying, name your price, and I don't get bites. People don't have these. There's such high demand for these, and you're gonna have to spend 1,000 to be able to buy them. Now, I usually try to buy from people that come to my island, and that's where I've gotten majority of my fertilizer. It's really hard though, because you got to find the right fish like salmon and carp to be able to get this item. You gotta use the compost afterwards. You gotta make it. So it's a big inconvenience factor to be able to make these, and that's why it's such a low supply. But the cool thing about fertilizer is with your auto farms, you kind of need this to be able to make your auto farms really, really OP, because it does reduce your auto farm time by a minute. So this could actually be worth more than 2,000. Right now it's going for about 2,000. You're probably gonna see this go up. Onion seeds and onion totems, this is just the resale value that I'm seeing a lot. A lot of people buy them at 1,000. A lot of people buy at 6,000. I would say I usually try to sell them for 4,000 just because I'm nice. I want I want people to be able to make their auto farms. Red flowers, 1,000 coin. They might continue to go up. The problem is the reason why this went up a ton. This used to be only worth like 250. It went up a ton because if you remember, there was a big bug where the natural stuff, the floral, was not growing on any islands for a long time. So everyone was using up their flowers, and the supply just basically diminished, and people were increasing the value and the prices, what they were willing to buy. So red flowers are pretty hard to find. Blue flowers, I'm hearing, are even harder to find, but I think that just depends on who you are and your kind of base, because I've been trying to find red flowers forever, and I would say, you know, it's really, really, really hard to find them. So I'm actually... Personally, I'm trying to build up a bunch of red clay, so I've been shopping around for flowers a lot. It's just really, really hard to find any flowers right now. I found a couple traders, and they just, you know, it's just hard. Usually it's like maybe 100 or 2 of them at a time. Iron War Axe, pretty much the same. Some people are trying to charge 200,000 plus. It's not worth that. Our gilded steel stuff has gone up. It was already kind of going up back when I did the last update, and it's floating about 1.1 million. Sometimes you'll see it higher. Sometimes you'll see some people trying to sell them for 2 million. It's not really worth 2 million, but it's definitely worth more than $1 million. So you're looking at 1.1 million. Probably 1.2 million is still fair. Even 1.3 million would be fair for these items because they are kind of expensive to make. Gilded steel hammer, surprisingly, is only $1 million. I think this is a steal. I think the challenge with these is that not a lot of people need them, and so like people are losing these all the time because they're working, right? So the reason why these are in high demand is you're working and then you fall and then you lose it into the void, because when you have an item equipped and you fall into the void, there's a good chance it'll get deleted if you hit the death layer instead of the teleporter, because there's 2 colliders down here. There's a death layer, and then right above that is the teleporter. The teleporter makes it so you can kind of teleport back to your starter, but if you fall through that teleporter for some reason due to lag or something else, then you're gonna hit the death layer, and the death layer will delete whatever you have equipped. So that's a bummer. So gilded steel hammer, again, 1 million. If you can find cheaper, then great. If you find it for more, 1.2 million, it's still fair. Water catcher, pretty cheap, 5,000 right now. Sometimes you see them for 10. It's okay. It's more of a convenience item, whatever you want to pay for it. 120,000 coin for the washing station. This dropped a little bit. This washing station is actually really convenient if you don't want to do it the way everyone else does it. And the way this works is you just click. You can use like an auto clicker to clean your onions manually. Conveyor belts are blowing up in demand because now they move. You can see I got some movers over there. They're all hanging out on the conveyor over there. You can see here though, they're just in demand. They're worth about 5,000. You could probably sell them for more if you really wanted to and take advantage of this little temporary boost from them making conveyors, movers. The other reason why you're seeing a lot of conveyor belts blowing up in demand is if you watched my AFK video for mobile for berries, and I'm going to link that in the description. That's partly why, because mobile players finally can farm, right? Mobile players can finally farm an AFK berries with just doing, you know, especially Android. iOS, unfortunately, iPhone users, you're going to have to talk to Apple about why they don't have an auto clicker for you. That is infinite clicks. That's why conveyor belts are blowing up. So you could probably sell these in bulk, you know, and especially with rich players, they don't want to have to wait. So you can say, hey, I'm going to sell you X number of conveyor belts. I have them in bulk, so I'm going to charge you X, and they'll probably go for it. Trellis 2000 still hasn't really changed. Basic sprinklers are really, really hard to find still. So if you want sprinklers, you're going to need to pay for them. They're just really, really hard to find. And 200,000 is a pretty good price. You know, if you can find them for less, then great. You got a good steal. I sold some for 100,000, but that's what I was buying them at. So that was my wholesale rate. Ideally, you're probably going to be anywhere between 100,000 200,000. That's a big range. I would say you're still going to, just because supply is so low and you're going to need these to optimize your farms, 200,000 is fair. Vending machines still going up a little bit to 180,000 still. A lot of people need them. You're seeing a lot of new players need them. So because every new player needs a vending machine, there's always going to be low supply because they don't want to get scammed anymore. So price has gone up because the supply is low. I think if you just wanted to make a business out of making vending machines, you can make a ton of coin on the Discord because people buy these up in volume. And I still sell these all the time. I sell them at 180,000. I just come over here and check my money every now and then on my other machine, and I see that I sold like another 20 every single time I come to it. So industrial stonecutter, it has gone up a little bit. I think the last time it was around like 300,000 or 350,000, and it's because the buff crystal is going up that this is going up a little bit with it. Food processor has tanked since release, so you're going to see a lot of people selling these for 1 million. In fact, I think I saw someone that had like 1,000 of these or something crazy like that, and they were going for 1 million. So I don't know, maybe duped or something, but 1.5 million is a really, really fair price for food processors. Sometimes you're going to see them for 2 million, which is still, in my opinion, I would still buy them at 2 million personally, just because I need them. But 1.5 is a really fair price. Industrial washing machines, again, high stock, low demand. What I'm seeing is a lot of sellers have high stock, which tells me there's just too much supply out there and low demand. And I think it's because, you know, a lot of players just don't want to have to deal with the washing stations. And I think there was probably a duping issue here because there was just too many of these. There's no way. So especially early on with the update, everyone remembers there were just way too many of these because I bought like, I don't know, I think I bought like 100 of them first day. Industrial smelter, pretty crazy that this is still going up. This is still going up. I'm seeing some people selling these for 750 and 800,000 each, which doesn't make any sense, but it kind of does because again, pink sticky gears are hard to find. So you're gonna really be spending money over time. And I think my prediction here is that these are going to continue to go up. I think we're going to start seeing these at 800,000 right now. I think we're still getting a good deal. But again, I'm sticking to my guns with this, everyone. Pink gears are worth a lot more than they're going for, and that's why you're probably gonna start seeing me buying these up. I'm gonna try my best to buy these up in bulk. If I can find 100 or 200, I'll just keep farming them. So again, I think smelters are gonna continue to rise in price. Industrial oven, again, it's so crazy when I see people selling these for 200, 300. Sometimes they're selling them for $1 million. It makes no sense. The problem is I've seen people get scammed because they think they're buying the food processor, so they think they're getting a deal whenever they say, oh, industrial oven, because you know both are related to food. And they kind of look like each other. Like, look at it's the same shape. It's for the most part, it's the same shape. It's just a slightly different top and some different sides. But people think they're getting a food processor when they're buying an industrial oven, which makes no sense because industrial oven is super easy and cheap to make. You can make this for 11,000 or less. So why would you ever charge in the hundreds of thousands to millions for this thing? Again, you know, beware of scammers on this. Industrial sawmill, 150,000, pretty standard there. And it's actually cheaper to make these. I think it's like only like 70,000 or 80,000 to make one of these, but people sell them for 150,000 because they can. There is low demand on them too, but you should be able to sell them for 150. Medium chests and industrial chests are crazy priced. These are crazy prices to me, but again, if people are buying them at this price, why not? Medium chests, I don't know what happens, but I feel like they're like the equivalent of pins. I don't know about you, but I lose pins all the time. And I think even like iPhone or Android chargers, it's the same thing. I feel like medium chests just get lost. I don't know what's happening in them. It could be that we make industrial chests and so we lose these. I don't know what's going on, but everyone needs chests. So these are selling for, you know, like crazy. They're in high demand. You're not going to have issues selling them for 20,000 each. Same for industrial chests. Everyone needs these for their auto farms. So because people are buying more and more auto farms, they're buying a ton of these. Lanterns, candles, and lampposts have not changed in price. If anything, they've kind of reduced in price a little bit. Umbrella blueprint is a little less in demand these days. You can sell for about 100,000. People will buy those. I think it's because a lot of people think they're still valuable and in demand, so they still try to buy these for high amounts. But I don't see that many postings anymore for these. I don't think they're worth even 100,000 anymore. But there's still people looking for blueprints. Test blueprints, similar scenario. Again, people used to buy these for like 30 million, 16 million, 13 million. I'd see all kinds of ranges. Now I see them for going on the high end about 3 million, sometimes a little bit more, and very rarely are they less. Sometimes you'll see them for like a couple million. But again, blueprints, if you're thinking this is some special item, all it is it's an item that got removed, and there's some people that still had them, and there's a lot of them out there still, and they don't do anything. So as soon as you click and use them, they just go away. Nothing happens. So these are just a rare collectible. It's just a rare item. Torches and test totems are also rare items in here. So I remember when test totems were selling in bulk for 550, and then torches were going for I think about 750 to 850 in bulk. And nowadays you can still see some of them going for bulk like that, but majority of the pricing, if you just like wanted to go buy one right now, you're looking about around these price ranges. You're seeing them for more than $1 million, sometimes more. So you know, again, it comes down to if you really want one of these. I think just the prices have kind of inflated a little bit. I don't think these are worth these at all. I think these are probably worth maybe 900,000, 800,000. There's so many out there. The problem is, this is the pure problem with this market, is there's people that buy them in bulk specifically. So there's like people that are holding like 1,000 of these things, and they specifically do that to buy up the market to increase the price so that they can resell them for more. And that's what happened with cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin blowing up. There's a lot of things that happen like that where people just buy up a majority of something to control the market. So you got to be careful with these prices, but this is a pretty fair price right now. Trees are going for about 10,000 right now. A lot of people are trying to sell these for hundreds of thousands still, which is a joke. There's also people trying to sell them for 40 or 50,000, which is also a joke because you can literally just go create an alt, go grab that sapling, and you're in good shape. The challenge is you have to have 2 devices to be able to do that, but just get a friend if you need to. But pretty much that's what majority of the market's doing, and then they're flipping them and selling them for 50,000 to 100,000, which is just a horrible thing to do if you think about it, because what they're doing is they're bringing a bunch of alts into the game and for no reason other than to harvest the saplings. I thought lemons were actually really, really rare, and then someone told me they have less apples than lemons, and so I think it really just depends on the player, because when I did some alts, I think I did about 10 alts, and these were, again, these were alts I already had from other games, so it wasn't like I was going and creating a bunch of alts for Skyblox, but I just basically grabbed those, and I only had like 2 lemons, and I had like 10 of these, but I only had 2 of these, which made no sense. But then someone else said that they only had 10 of these, and then 100 of these each, so I don't know. Avocado trees are actually available in the marketplace, so don't let anyone scam you into thinking that you can't get these in volume, because all you got to do is go to the lobby, and from the guy that sells the seeds, just buy these for 8,000 a piece. This price right here, the only reason why we have this here is because it's resale price, so similar to totems, you can sell it for a few thousand less. I also have a price guide that you can access in real time anytime you want that I created. It is linked in the description, so anytime you want to pull that up, you can see what the latest prices are going for, and it'll tell you when it was last updated. So if it looks like it's a little out of date, don't trust the prices exactly. Always do your own research, but I will be linking that in the description, so you can always just pull up that spreadsheet. It is a Google Sheet thing. It is completely secure, so don't worry. You don't have to log in. You don't have to do anything like that. You can pull it up on your phone. You can pull it up on your browser. It doesn't matter, however you want to do it. But that price sheet will be updated on a regular basis. So if you're curious what you should sell something at, you can go and pull that price list up. I've also linked in the description the official Discord price sheet. Now, I don't trust that price sheet because it doesn't reflect market demand or supply at all. But it does have a lot more things, like if you're trying to figure out what, certain like lower priced items are worth, that's a really, really good sheet to always reflect, because I'm only going to be tracking prices for things that are traded often, like things that are high value and in need for your farm. So I'm not going to be tracking like, the 60s deco table blue. I'm not doing any of that. That's just too much work to manage. But you can go and check that price list anytime you'd like to see what the Skyblox team thinks it should be priced at. And again, remember, not everyone's on the Discord. So last time I did my video, people were like, well, Dark, that's too much. You price berries way too much. They should be 3,000, because what you're telling me is, despite me selling 40,000 plus seeds at 8,000 or 10,000, I have the price too high. And that makes no sense when you're actually in trading, right? You don't go 3,000 just because it's cheaper. It makes you need a little bit of the economics knowledge here to understand how buying and selling within a trading market works. If people are willing to spend something on something, that's what you price it at. Now, price gouging is completely different. Now, if I controlled the market, if I controlled the majority of seeds and you had no other options, then that's when you need to complain. That's when there's something going on wrong, because I don't own the market. I don't even have any seeds right now, but as soon as I restock, they'll sell. So again, if people are willing to spend something on something, you can't argue with me, because it's just factual. It's factual facts. So if I want to sell gold at 10,000 and people are willing to spend 10,000 on it, then that's what you need to price your gold at. Now, I guarantee you, if I price gold right now at 10,000, people will laugh in my face. But if I price this at 10,000, they would be like, oh man, I need those, and they'd buy it. So again, you have to understand how markets work. And so the next time you tell me, hey, Dark, you overpriced something. No, I didn't. Guarantee 100%, I will tell you, no, I didn't, because people are willing to buy it at that price that I've listed. In some cases, yes, some things are actually a little cheaper in here than what you're probably able to get off of them. And like, for example, if you're still selling these for 50,000, good for you. This is, again, fair market value. So you can still price your stuff. Trading 101 tip. If I'm buying, for example, if I'm like, well, I really need pink sticky gears, I'll put out a post and say, I want 10 pink sticky gears for 100,000 each. And if I don't get a message response, then I will increase it, because that's how I trade. I don't sit there. There are a lot of traders that are going to be watching this video. They will literally sit there for 8 hours waiting for someone to bite. The way I trade is, this is what I'm willing to spend. I'm going to keep going up because I need it, and I'm not going to wait 8 hours. And that's how you test the market, though, because if you get someone to buy your pink sticky gear at 140,000 or 150,000, guess what it's worth? It's worth 150,000, right? Because people are buying at that. Now, if you only get one person that buys it at 150,000 and no one else bites, then you had a desperate customer that's willing to overpay, and your price was overpriced. That's not the real market. But if you can sell 10 of these at 150,000 each, guess what? You just revealed to everyone else in the marketplace that that's the new value. So again, you got to understand how trading works, and that's why I do a ton of research. I get a lot of feedback from the community. And if you want to get real-time pricing, like I said, definitely check out that link in the description. Share it around with your friends if you need to, especially especially when you're doing trades, you can say, hey, this is what, you know, this guide says. And you can also check the official guide, but this guide over here says you're trying to charge me 100,000 for a tree, or you're trying to charge me 50,000 for an avocado tree, or you're trying to charge me 5 million for a test totem, but everyone's selling them for $1 million. You just gotta, you know, I hope it helps you, and I hope it prevents you from getting scammed. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button and smash that subscribe button if you're new, and I'll see you next time.